My older home in Vancouver was heated by oil, as were most homes that are more than 30, 40 years old. That basically became illegal about 10 years ago. But of course, the oil tanks that were used to store the oil are still in place in many cases. So we have to deal with that. And hopefully the oil has not leaked out, which in that case, we have to reclaim the land, which means we've got to decontaminate the soil. It's a mess. Now, fortunately, the people that started to decommission them as long as 30, 40 years ago thought about that into the future and decided to thankfully drain the oil out of the tanks. In some cases they didn't, or in some cases they didn't get it all out. But the tank still sits there. Some of that residual oil may still be in there, in which case we have to remove that first and then remove the tank. I called Action Oil Tanks in Vancouver. They seem to be the largest, the best, and certainly gave me a reasonable price. And what they're going to do is dig a hole. You can see them behind me. We're going to find the oil tank. We got to find out if it kind of goes north-south or east-west. It's anybody's guess. Dig out the hole that matches that and then just pop that out.
Plan is now we've determined which way the tank is running. It's running north-south, not east-west. We're down about 4.5, 5 feet down.
All right, so I'll leave you a check and you can swing by and pick up the permit and coordinate the fire inspection for tomorrow afternoon sometime.
Perfect, okay.
Now, we've gone down deep enough and we know that that they filled it up with sand, and that sand was to absorb the oil. So at least thankfully it's going to be all in one place and we're going to be able to deal with it. That's not always the case though. In some situations the oil was just left in there and nothing has been done, in which case it eventually has to be dealt with, because of course we know that that oil is eventually going to leak out into the soil, and then you've got a real big problem in your hand.
We're just bringing the machine back to backfill the hole. It's a little micro 80, 1-ton machine. It's small enough to walk through a small gate. We don't have to take a lot of things apart. Well, there's one less oil tank in Vancouver. Now it's just time for the cleanup.